A lot of people reacted to something we talked about, and I don't know if you actually heard the clip, so I'm going to play it for you.
Oh, boy.
We talked about when Jesse Ventura gave it to Tony Schiavone on commentary at SummerSlam. Did you end up checking out this clip?
Well, I did. Somebody tweeted it. So, yes, I did. I listened to that where he blistered him when Tony said something that was... Actually, now, if Tony said the same thing now, it would pass for common sense because they've changed all the rules. But it was stupid back then.
Well, let's play this, and you can hear this and give your thoughts on the other side.
He's brought all this on himself, with Bobby Heenan pulling the leg, with Andre the Giant trying to choke down the Ultimate Warrior. You got to expect a guy like the Warrior to take matters to his own hands.
And that means out to the floor, hit him with the belt. This should be a disqualification. That's a disqualification. Where the hell is the referee?
That's outside of the ring, Jesse.
So what?
As much, it can just be a count out here.
What are you going to tell me, Schiavone? You can shoot somebody outside the ring as long as it's outside the ring?
Well, no, that...
You know, you're even dumber than Monsoon. I thought Gorilla was the stupidest guy alive.
Right to the head. There is no question that fans are on their feet here.
This is ridiculous that Joey Marella is allowing this to take place in an Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship.
Well, there it is, Jesse Ventura.
There was no question that Tony Schiavone had no idea what to say. Like,
what do you think Vince is thinking? If Vince is in the back on the headset, what is he? I mean, Jesse's mentioning a gun on the air. I mean, no one talks about shooting during a wrestling show for the WWF. What do you think Vince thinks hearing Jesse?
I think they were all laughing at Jesse skewering poor Tony, and Tony being blumfustered and not knowing what to say to come back with because he did open. Well, it was outside the ring. Well, what difference does that make? That was stupid. So, but we love Tony. We do. We're not blistering him here, but yeah, I think Vince and they were probably laughing because they were, you got him. I got him, pal. And even when I got there in the early 90s, Vince was not the headset Nazi that he came to be, where he was constantly listed. Well, for one thing, he was on the program a lot of times, but he still wasn't constantly listening, constantly micromanaging things that were said and blah, blah, blah. He didn't get that way until the mid 90s and everything started heating up. And then it became, but that does... Here's something, and let's bring this up now and talk about what we're going to do next week on the program. How many of these ridiculous I Quit matches have we seen here lately? Several where they don't even get the idea, the fucking picture of what the match is supposed to be. And I even had some people arguing on Twitter when I said that it was Moxley with the I Quit match with fuck, who was it?
We saw two back-to-back, Roman Reigns and Jey Uso in Hell in a Cell, and then Moxley and Eddie Kingston.
Kingston, that's right. And I said Moxley came in and with a baseball bat, wrapped in barbed wire no less, and hit Kingston 3 times, and he didn't fucking beat him. Well, what the fuck? I said, then it's ridiculous. And somebody on Twitter said, well, if he'd have... And then I said, and then he took the bat and put it into the guy's face, and he's fucking grinding it, a baseball bat with barbed wire. He's grinding it into his face instead of just hitting him over the head with it, which is stupid. And somebody on Twitter said, well, you don't understand. I obviously don't understand as much about wrestling as you do. No, go ahead and enlighten me. If he'd knocked him out, then he'd be unconscious and he wouldn't be able to say I quit, so he couldn't win the match. And that's so stupid, but then I realized that's what they were telling people in that match with Roman Ruins. Roman Ruins and Jey Uso. Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. They were actually laying there unable to speak, and the announcers said, well, the match can't be over with. This is so stupid. Everybody has lost the plot so bad. The whole idea of an I Quit match is to have a match, a fight with someone that you hate, that you despise, that you have a personal rivalry with, that you want to beat them and do such damage to them with your hands and whatever else is available that they will say, I quit, they've had enough, But it's even better if you knock them out and put them in a fucking coma. Is there in any way, any shape or form, anybody that would think if you buy the premise of we're going to have a fight until one of us says I quit, that you wouldn't win the match if your opponent was completely unconscious and unable to speak? Brian, am I reaching here in logic? Or was this not even something that didn't even need to be written down before?
Well, again, with the Moxley match, remember that match came out of the fact that he beat Eddie Kingston with the choke. The referee stopped the match, but he never tapped out. He never gave up. He never quit. So that's why they set up that match. So with those terms going into it, I could understand why the fan got in touch with you and said you don't understand. If he knocks him out, if he chokes him out again,
then he's done.
Right back to where we started, where he didn't quit.
No, if he chokes him out again, he's fucking done. He choked him out twice. Get a goddamn new challenger, because I'm not accepting your challenge anymore because I've choked you out in a real world. This is what would happen. I'm sorry. In the professional wrestling logic world, you can believe two guys are going to have a fight till one of them says I quit. But it's stretching it too far to say that one of them beats the other guy so fucking bad that he's unconscious, can't get up and can't speak, and the match is not over and I haven't fucking won because that guy's still laying there. No. So what we want to do, this is where I brought this up. Next week, because our drive-through next week is airing all Thanksgiving week long, and it's the anniversary, or it's going to be here very shortly, of Starrcade 85. We're going to do a watch-along and a talk about, I think, the best example on video, at least, of an I Quit match that I know that is available. Tully Blanchard and Magnum TA from Starrcade 85. That epitomized exactly what this whole thing is supposed to be. Two guys that have been through so much, they finally had to go man on man with no rules until one motherfucker said, I quit, I've had enough, I'm done. That's easy to understand.
Well, Tully never said I quit.
Well, but that's the way it was sold, and that's
he said yes, yes, yes.
Well, see, you're spoiling now. You're spoiling the watch along. But it was an answer to the question: do you quit? Yes. But then there's the heel bitch. But anyway, those guys had a fucking war, and it was believable. There wasn't nothing hokey about it. There wasn't nothing fucking funny about it, and it wasn't this stupid. Oh, but he's got to be Okay, so by that logic, if I'm having a fucking I quit match with you and I knock you out and you're unconscious and you can't say I quit, there's no winner, right? Until you come to? Is that where we're going? So then what happens if you have a fucking heart attack and drop down and you're deader than Kelsey's nuts? Right there on the ground, graveyard dead, right there on the ground. Does that mean that the match never ends?
Means your heart quit.
He didn't say it, though. I didn't hear it. I didn't hear, oh, quit. I heard, but I didn't hear, oh, quit.